And we are live.
And you're alive. Our prayers have been answered, Justin. There was we said a prayer for Justin, and so you're all right.
Rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. I'm like Princess Kate. I'm really alive.
Shh. I have been laughing at the memes about Princess Kate. You know they're expecting expecting her to appear with like 34 double D's. So
I know.
I don't know. Hopefully she's all right. Hopefully
I
she's
know.
okay. But yeah, it's been but you had an infection.
Some sort of infection. I don't know. I always get work done on my teeth because my teeth are terrible, as you can see. Actually, you can see they're terrible actually today, which is unusual, whatever way the camera angle is. But my teeth are terrible, and well, they've always been terrible. And I got a filling done, and
Mm.
usually it upsets my delicate ear biome, and, and my ear was incredibly sore, got incredibly sore sitting at the theater at the show on Friday night, and just get sore and sore and sore and sore. And
Mm-hmm.
you could tell there was something wrong because I just got a chip from the chippy rather than a chip and something.
And you didn't. So you mean you didn't actually? Did you eat it?
I did eat it. I did
Oh,
eat it.
that's
I
okay.
ate something spicy to try and kill the pain, and then Saturday morning, got up and it got worse and worse and worse. So much so that I had to go to casualty and sit for a few hours, and then they have given me horse tablets, and I'm not joking you. Guess how many tablets I'm taking? Two sets of 8 a day, and then 3 of the big horse tablets for the. So that's what's three, to 8, 16. 18 tablets. No, 19 tablets a day
Terrible
for 5 days.
for
So there you
five
go.
days. No,
So,
no, well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
well,
You see, I am back. I'm back in the promised land. I'm back home. I've been flat out all week. I haven't really had a chance to shake off the jet lag. And if I'm totally honest, last night when you said you were feeling well, I said, right, okay, we'll just all go with it. I went upstairs and I kind of thought, well, I'll maybe take a wee run down the pub. But as soon as I went upstairs, I thought I could lie down. I'll just lie down for half an hour for a wait.
you didn't get to the pub.
And I honestly, I woke up about 10:30 and I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. It was absolutely knackered. Just slept. I didn't feel like really doing anything today. I'm still sort of a bit jet laggy. But anyway, oh, just not getting any younger. I think that's maybe the problem.
I know. Well, listen, I'm only 36-year-old. It said it in the label. I'm only 36-year-old. Yeah.
Aye, dead on, dead on, dead on. Here, wait, see this, wait, see this. For France have only fools with horses. My son bought me this for Christmas. This has given me more pleasure than really should do. Hang on. Isn't that brilliant?
Is that Rodney falling at the bar or Dave falling to the bar?
It's Dale boy falling through the bar.
All right.
So I've had that sat at my desk, just coming back. Whenever I come back, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
That's
So, yeah.
very cool. Are they doing a one-off? I've heard.
No, he's appearing. He done some. David Jason's done like a quick sketch with some show, some car show or something it is, and he's doing a wee bit of Del Boy in it. So yeah.
Here, listen, loads of people that only tune in now and again have tuned in. They must be tuning in expecting you to do my death announcement.
Yes.
Actually, it's gone up another few.
I turned around and say, "Oh, that's my unfortunate pleasure, or sorry, the great disappointment." They mentioned that Justin has ceased to be. He is an ex Justin.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Marty doesn't know the login codes anyway, so don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
No, that's not. It's not part of my remit, Justin. I couldn't. I wouldn't be up for that at all.
No, I'll send him to Ryan on my deathbed.
Aye, that's it. We'll go.
Aye.
Somebody's looking for your new glasses, Justin. And funky pictures appeared to you this week with new pair of glasses.
These actually are new glasses, but these are. I have normal ones for InVision, and then I have good ones for private. You weren't supposed to see them. You weren't supposed to see them.
That's it. to impress the ladies, Justin? Is that
Could be. Could be.
Is that what they're for? They're the
Could be. Well, listen, I didn't stand a chance. I didn't have a radio and I didn't have a clipboard because there's no room there.
Oh no! During the week, there was no room for anything other than a clipboard. And if you had a high-vis vest, you might have fit it in. You know, you might have slipped under the radar with a high-vis vest.
Yeah, I could have walked in, lifted a bottle, and walked out again. Nobody would know where it had gone.
I tried that before.
Oh yeah, I did. I think it was pissed, but there you go.
Oh no! Now, Friday night we were down at had a tasting in the Ghost on. I think it's the biggest one we've had so far. 50 people there. I see some of the folk that were there. I see Andy and Darren and Kit and all there.
Wow!
But it was a good night. Good night. We did 6 different whiskies. Stanley picked them. There was a few people made a comment. Next time you're doing it, Marty, make sure you're picking the whiskies. so
I seen Stanley actually saying he had such a good time. He's rushed off his feet because he had to do 50 miniatures 3 or 5 times. All he was doing was filling glasses.
I was pouring whiskey. But yeah, no, it was a good night. So thanks everybody for coming down. They're just a good night, you know. Good night. We go around, get the whiskies out, have a brief introduction, and then go around and see what people think and gauge response and so on and so forth. But yeah, all good. So thanks everybody that came, and I don't know.
I heard that too.
Well, our kit was fairly well oiled now, do you have to say? It was fairly well on, but yeah, it was a good night. But those were the 6 whiskies. The 4 were all part of the first prize, and then you could pay £15 for 2 30-year-old scotches. Now they're blends, but they're still 30-year-old for £15. Great value for money.
Okay, good.
Anyway, now we'll do a wee bit of news, but I want to do one thing first. Every time a news story appears now with the word whiskey in it, I get sent it by about 15 people every single time. And last week, the Antiques Roadshow, some guy had found on eBay, I think it was, a Macallan box thing for putting the whiskey in, and there only was 12 of them made, and he bought it for a couple £100, and it's worth 10 grand. So the story, if you want to know the story, haven't heard the story, Justin put the link up for the Daily Mail thing. It tells you could go on there, shows you the story. But please don't send it to me because everybody keeps sending them, and I know they're trying to do me a favour, and thanks very much. But yeah, I kind of look through for all the obscure shit. So the obvious stuff I kind of know myself. I kind of hate it myself. But thanks very much for sending it. But if you could just, if you just don't.
Is this a cease and desist order?
Well, it's kind of. But thanks very much for folks thinking of me. You know, it's always nice. But
listen, don't do that. I had to tell the postman in England to stop sending me the funnies because literally he was sending me hundreds of funnies a day, and I couldn't read my normal email at work for the amount of funnies that was coming. And I told them the funnies are good; they're really good, but
some of them are hilarious.
Don't send so many. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's all good. But the story is quite interesting. The guy spotted this, knew what it was, bought it, and made a lot of money on it. Good on him. But yeah. Another thing, I didn't actually send Justin the link for this. Whiskey Hammer, the whiskey auction site, celebrating their 100th auction, and they're giving away £10,000. So if you buy something at the auction, you get entered into a raffle. The winner gets 5,000, and then there's other sort of the decreasing amounts, but and they're vouchers that go to what's the name? I have it wrote down here. Stillspirit.com. So you'll be able to redeem those and buy yourself something nice if you happen to win. So yeah, that's quite a nice thing. 100 auctions, and these guys have sold some pretty big ticket items, you know. But yeah, if you buy something at Whiskey Hammer at their next auction, then you enter into the raffle. So that's something to keep in mind. So now, close to home here, just up the Glens for me. The Glens of Antrim Distillery have been granted planning permission. Now, this has been a long time in the offing. There was some locals were kicking off about this, that it's going to ruin this and it's going to be all industry. I think people think that the distillery is going to be like a massive industrial complex. It's not. It's if you pull the makeup of it, I think that looks pretty contemporary with the surroundings. It looks
It
kind
looks
of
like a fancy farm building.
yeah, exactly. It looks like a couple of quite nice sheds, and then the other buildings with the glass on it look really pretty sharp. The McKillops, if anybody knows them, they're the Glens of Antrim crisp people. Their crisps are top drawer, by the way. If you've never had a chance, they're since I'm just back from the States, their chips are lovely. Their salt and vinegar's awesome. But
Yeah, they're really good now.
really, really, really good. Really sort of gourmet crisps. So if this is if their distilling is up to the same standard. Now, this picture, if you go onto Google, it shows you where the Glens of Antrim distillery is. It's marked there, I've underlined it. That's not where the site's going to be. Where I have circled at the, hang on, just to read the Gorticley Road, that where that arrow is, or that pin is, that's where the distillery is going to be. It's going to be on that corner there. So as you're going down into Cushendall, just before you reach the GAA pitches, it's just going to be there on the left-hand side.
Wow,
So
that'll be a prime position on everybody up in the way up and down the coast. Yeah.
well, I think it should be, yeah. But I mean, as you and I both know, there's an awful lot of traffic goes down there during the summer, and having a nice location sit down there for people to stop off, pop their head in, and number one, have a wee belly whiz, more than that, have a wee pee, is quite a nice thing. But I know that's probably not exactly the demographic they're going to be going for, but it's nonetheless going to be playing into their hands. So good on them. I hope everything goes well for them. There was a few complaints, as I say, people saying it being built in an area of outstanding natural beauty and all that kind of caper. If somebody had said, if it was a farmer putting up a farmer's shed, nobody would have batted an eyelid, I don't think. So I don't see why something that's going to employ people, create jobs, create a bit of money, etc., why that should be an issue.
Jealousy.
Well, people like to raise concerns, Justin. Raise concerns is what we'll say. But I think there was something like 35 complaints or something, so in around that anyway, objections to it being built. But it was given planning permission, and hopefully it'll go ahead.
Okay, good.
I just see Kit Charles has just popped up there. I hope it goes better than Neffin. There's a story. Yeah. It's one of those things I don't really want to comment too much on Neffin because of legal implications. There seems to be an awful lot of very weird stuff going on down there. Neffin, well, it looked like it was going to be a really, really nice project. All the coopering and all that kind of stuff was going to go on down there. And now they've appointed I saw this in the news, 2 Ukrainians to run it or something. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows what exactly is going on down there. But it's... That is what it is.
Now, where are we heading next?
We're going to go to the single cask, Justin.
I shouldn't put in for this one, should I?
It's probably best for you to give this a bit of a skip because the single cask company, who are independent bottlers, who I have to say my favourite thing about them is the bottles that they do. It's those lovely, lovely square bottles, like they look fantastic. I've had a couple of stuff that they've done before, and they're really quite good. Well, they are looking a panel. Who knows best? Our dream job for the dram lover. If you read it there, if you click on it yourself, the whiskey lover lovers across the country can't believe the rise as we announce we are recruiting for our first ever specialist panel, the Taste Masters, to help in the nosing, tasting, bottling, and creation of our luxury single cask whiskies. Now, it goes down, it tells you that they want to create a panel uh, to basically help them with their with going forward with their bottlings. So yeah, the lucky panel of whiskey wizards will need barrels of personality as well as tasting experience. They'll be working with our specialist whiskey team, an exclusive ensemble of flavour experts telling the story behind each unique whiskey they taste. So if anybody is they are thinking of trying something new, possibly apply for that. Now, if you hit there's a LinkedIn link at the bottom. I don't think it's actually active just yet. But if you can create a job alert. Now, it hasn't been posted as
right. So it's a pre-announcement then. So yes,
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was only announced what 2-3 days ago, and the link hasn't been live since then. But they're looking to do this, so I imagine that it will probably pop up during the week. But you can create the link for it.
Wouldn't imagine there'd be too many applicants.
Possibly, you never know, Jim. You never know. You could put in for it. You could put in for it. But then again, you do have the best job in the world. What with your two work colleagues?
I tell you. Wow.
But yeah, it'd be interesting if anybody's interested in that. Keep an eye out for that and put in your application, I should say.
There we go.
Now, another thing, Titanic Distillery. They have been doing these evenings and nights down at the place. And I have to say, good on them. If you bring it up now, Justin, because they have. Now, this obviously is not going to appeal to me. It might appeal to you, Justin. Makeup masterclass and cocktails. They've been doing this. They've been doing art classes. There's now this makeup masterclass. And various things that are a little bit different for distilleries. And whoever come up with this, I have to give them a round of applause, because it's number one for this. Obviously, this is going to appeal to the females of the gender, I suppose is probably the best way of putting it. And getting them down in to the distillery, you get a couple of cocktails. I can't remember the price of it. That's all there. You can book the tickets and so on. I think it's a great idea.
It's an excellent idea because it connects,
Yeah.
people that drink cocktails, quite often female, go out all dolled up. What better than a makeup masterclass? Yes.
Good down. But even doing the art class, you bring a guy down, do the art class, get a couple of drinks, have a bit of that, something a little bit different than what other people are doing. And I totally round of applause for them. I think it's a great idea. So yeah, if that's something that you might consider, or you might think one of your lady friends or your wife or whatever would enjoy, to have a look at it. But they're doing these other things, these art classes and stuff as well.
Well, actually, while you were away, they had the legends gin, Mary Peters gin, and Jerry Armstrong's whiskey night. You were away, you missed it, but it looked good.
Yeah, I know a couple of people were there and said they had a really nice night. I mean, the Mary Peters gin, the Jerry Armstrong whiskey, the Spirit of 82, which I have bottles sitting over there. Easy enough drinking whiskey. Is it the greatest whiskey in the world? Well, it's probably not, but it's quite pleasant. And the fact that Jerry has hand signed all the bottles and all the boxes of tubes that it comes in, sore hand Jerry. But yeah, as I say, what Titanic are doing, a little bit different, something a nice night out. And why not use the space? So good on them. I think it's a cracking idea.
Now we're going to say the word Godawan. What does it
Now,
mean? I've no idea.
now, for anyone who knows me well enough knows that I do like birds. I'm like the Eel song. I like birds. Um, so a whiskey that's saving birds.
By the way, I call this a bird in the hand is worth two in a bush, the show tonight. But anyway,
Aye.
I know.
Now, this is an Indian whiskey. This is a bit of a strange thing. But again, I like this because it's something that I find quite interesting. This is the God of One whiskey project over in India. And what it's trying to do, it was set up in 2023, set up last year. It's owned by Diageo, but they're not the sort of main driving forces behind this. Um, Part of the whole reason for this, the reason d'etre for the whole thing, is that they want to raise money for a charity to promote, protect the great Indian bustard. Okay, now
You have to
so
say that carefully.
oh aye, because Zuckerberg will hit us with it. Anyway, but this is the great Indian bustard. Somebody said, "Oh, it's not the most attractive looking bird." I think it's a shot. I'm not casting aspersions on its sartorial elegance. I think it looks pretty. I think it looks cool. These things are down. Apparently, there's only something like 150 of these left in the world.
Wow.
They used to be found all over the place.
In India, like.
In India, obviously, but I think in Pakistan as well. But they were found in wetlands, and the wetlands have been drained, and there's very little room for them, very little. So they're critically endangered. Now, the king of the 44th king of Jaisalmer, whatever it is, of the Jaisalmer royal family, is helping to do this. He's wanting to do for this what they did for the Bengal tiger, and because that worked over there for that. So the whiskey's being created. It's using local barley. It's being aged locally. It's doing all the sort of ticky things, and it's trying to save a bird. So I again wholeheartedly concur. I think whenever you can do something like this and raise money for charity and sort of provide work and provide a product that people quite like and do things locally and all that, it's to be commended. So yeah, hopefully they we wish them well with that and that everything goes well. If I put it like this, the Muffet Distillery over do the Eagle Festival. I've bought every Eagle Festival bottling because they provide money to promote and sort of boost Eagle numbers. So yeah, if I can buy a bottle of that, I will. If I happen to be in India over that direction, I'll get a bottle sent out to me. But yeah, good on them. Good on them. More of that kind of thing.
Okay. No, where are we heading tonight?
Now,
a bit closer to home now again.
We're back home, close to home, because it's been a week of launches. So last week there was a lot of stuff launched. I'm having a wee drop at Dingle because we're a big fan of Dingle stuff. Quite complex maturations that they do, but they are pretty good. Dingle, and don't worry, we'll be getting to some of the bigger releases. Have released their latest in the sort of the sixth in the Wheel of Years series. This honours the ancient celebration of the spring equinox when night and day align and the energy of the earth comes into balance. My only problem with these releases is that they are in Gaelic. And it's kind of hard to sell these to people that don't speak Gaelic, because if you're pronounced, people who do speak Gaelic laugh at you whenever you get the pronunciation wrong, and people that don't speak Gaelic can't pronounce them in the first place. So it's a little bit of a hard sell for in some regards, but I get why they do it, but I don't think it aids selling of the stuff, you know.
And Dingle, I mean, it's Dingle is a catchy enough thing in its thing, because Dingle is a sort of like almost silly word in the English language, even though it isn't in English, you know. So it's
yeah. Well, I kind of get what you're saying there. mean, it's 75 £75 a bottle. But I mean, that'll be a nice whiskey. I've no doubt. I haven't tried it, but I know that it'll be a nice whiskey. But they released that this week. Another one. So good on them. Next release is the Hinch 15-year-old. The Hinch 15-year-old is a blend. When I first saw it, I thought it was a single malt. It's not. Now, this has come out in the new tube. Now, it says on it's Oloroso sherry finish. We'll get to that in a little minute. The new tube, one of my things about the Hinch is the labelling. The labelling on the bottles, on the standard bottle range, the peated and the double cask and stuff, it's a kind of a very nice sort of rich blue colour, which is very nice. But the bottles all look a little similar, so it's kind of hard to just differentiate from them without looking. They've changed it up a little bit here, and this new sort of deer logo that they have.
Stag motif. I like the stag motif.
I think the artwork is sharp. It's cool. The bottle, however, all you see is Hinch 15. So I don't know. I'm not totally convinced on the branding. But that aside, it is. It says in the blurb here, our 15-year-old sherry cask finish batch 1 is a combination of 2003 malt whiskey aged in ex-bourbon, finished for a year in first fill Oloroso sherry casks, along with 2008 grain whiskey matured in ex-bourbon casks and finished for 2 years in Oloroso hogsheads. Now, it's when they're saying this, that implies to me that it's a 20-year-old malt, and then the grain is a 15 that's taking it down. That is £65 a bottle. I haven't tried this yet, but I get the idea that that'll be a pretty nice whiskey. That'll be a really nice whiskey. And these days, for £65 for a 15-year-old Irish whiskey, that's going to represent pretty good, very good value for money at the minute.
Do you think they were thinking of the current economic situation when the priced it at that point then?
Well, I think so. I mean, these days, people go for these crazy prices, and it puts people off. That'll be a nice whiskey, and that I'm pretty happy to stake my claim on. I'll have to get myself sorted out a bottle of it. But in terms of a nice new branding, the fact that they're going for an age statement blend, the 20-year-old, I'm just wondering, is there another element to it that they haven't actually mentioned there? Because they're saying the 20-year-old malt there. Well, I assume it's 20-year-old malt. I suppose maybe pre-guessed.
There you go. We got it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, we took it. Excellent. Well done, Jamie. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody's paying attention to this, because we're going to be talking about some other releases this week that possibly aren't paying attention to the current economic situation. But I don't know. It'd be nice if Jamie could let us in. I'm going to say there's that 20-year-old malt. Is there another bit of malt content in there? Because it says just those two components, and the grain's the younger element of it. But I think there's possibly a little bit more to that. But that'll be a nice whiskey. I do like the stag branding, and I do like the black and white sort of pencil. They didn't go for like big bold colours on that. Just that label's a little bit off. But anyway, that's beside the point. The whiskey was really good, and it's at a reasonably good price. Something that you can actually afford to buy. So again, be a round of applause. Now, no, one malt and one grain. Oh, there we go. Thank you for clearing that up, Jamie. Much appreciated, buddy.
That's it. You get the insider in this channel, don't you know?
Well, that's just it. This is it. Now, a couple of other releases this week. Oh, it's crazy season. Middleton 2024 has made an appearance. I didn't send you a link for it, did I?
The Ruby Edition one you did?
No, the 2024 Middleton.
I
send you a link for that?
don't think you did.
Anyway, that doesn't really matter. Everybody knows what it looks like. Anyway, Middleton 2024 has been released. They haven't even sold out of 2023. There's still plenty of places to buy it. Plenty of places to buy 2023. Only a couple of weeks ago, a couple of the whiskey retail specialists had posted that they had a new batch of 2023 Middleton for sale. So on it comes a 2024. And people go, oh, I see it all over Facebook, all over the internet. I've got my bottle of 2024. It's kind of past. People collect it, and I know all they do all that, and good on them. They're perfectly entitled to do so. But it's no big achievement to get a bottle of this anymore. You know, there's no big, massive. Look, there's no big hurrah of getting it. They haven't sold out of last year's, so the fact that they've got this year's, darn, that's darn fleck. Let's hope it doesn't taste like 2024 doesn't taste like flood water. That's
a joke.
Yes, but it's nonetheless true. But yeah, there's thousands of bottles of Middleton Very Rare. If you want a bottle of 2023, go with your friend at hand. Plenty of it, no problem. 2023, 2024 will be coming in. Pick it up. So yeah, it's no big. Again, but they call it the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. It's the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. I'd be honest, it's not a bad whiskey. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best whiskey in Ireland by any stretch of the imagination. It's a blend, non-age statement blend that costs a bloody fortune that used to come in quite nice packaging and now comes in a cardboard box, an egg box. Price goes this way, it goes that way. Anyway, but it was released this week, so to much fanfare. So what's the comments here, Justin? Let me see. It's a stag. It's
a stag. You said it was a deer. I said it was stag, but it's an Irish elk. But they've been extinct for about 500 years.
No, well, as I say, it's let's just say it's one of them ruminants, Jamie. It's a horny ruminant. Is that okay? But yeah, but the branding that looks really sharp. I think it looks really sharp. What else have we? It's probably very good and heavy, which will pull the price down. Possibly, yeah, but it's good value for money. Declan says it's been sold for the whiskey drinker. Good on them. Exactly. It's good to see good price. Yep. Our approach is very much accessibility now, hence the price point. Good man, Jamie. Because but anybody that listens to me regularly, the idea that people just can drop £100 in a bottle of whiskey, £100 in a bottle of whiskey, or £250 in a bottle of whiskey, lots of people can't. Lots of people don't have that kind of money. So yeah,
somehow I don't believe that. He says he drew it himself with crayons.
Well, you never know. I mean, Terry I see Terry sitting there doing it. You know, Terry going through it and drawing it up himself.
Pencil drawing.
Anyway, it's a great drawing. It's nice branding. I like the black and white, plain and simple. But yeah, I'll have to get a bottle. That'll be a nice whiskey. I have no doubt about that. Middleton 2024 was something. Let's so there are supposed to be over 50,000 of the 2024 in its first release. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for 1 second, Peter. It's ridiculous.
I think Peter knows he's in the off trade. You see, so we know he knows. We do.
I mean, and people will be lost in their shit to go and find it, you know. But there's no shortage of it. There's no shortage of 2023 still available. So it's not very rare. I don't even see that the new boxes are all that collectible, if I'm honest, because it's basically cardboard. How are you supposed to keep that clean and clean it if it gets a little bit dirty or anything like that? So yeah. Oh, Jamie says it's actually all hand-drawn elements, just not my crayons, but how we will design it. Yeah, it looks. Whoever did the drawing for it, hands off.
Here, listen, I want to tell you this story because the people are now dead. The people are now dead, so it's safe to tell it. So, you know the pens that you draw things with, right? You know the way if you go into a graphic design shop, they're like really dear. Well, there was this set of pens 30 years ago when I worked in the railway, and they were for drawing railway tracks, right? So you can imagine the price of them, all right?
Right.
And it was bring your child to work day one day. And this Wayne says, "Oh, look, Daddy, there's the pens that you brought home for me to draw with."
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. There you go.
Aye.
I can tell you other stories, but the statute of limitations hasn't gone on them.
Basically, you know a bunch of thieves. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
No. No. I'm saying nothing about this week. I'm not saying nothing about this week. But there may have been other people on suspicion of let's say making off with stuff that doesn't actually technically belong to them. Anyway, the day the 2024 was released, Middleton also released. Now, 2024 is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. It's kind of like the pinnacle of Irish whiskey trademark. But then they released the Middleton Ruby to celebrate the 40th anniversary. No, that's the wrong one, Justin. You're too far ahead. Can I take that out? Take that out. Aye. So the Middleton Very Rare, the 40th anniversary, the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. So this is to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the new distillery as is in the Ruby edition. Now, what do you call it? The Middleton Pearl came out, and everybody was like at the time going, "Oh my God, it's £7,000 or whatever it is." Now these days it's about 4 times that price. There's 118 bottles of it, I think. One of which John Bittle down in Bittle's Bar quite famously dropped. So there's only 117 of them. But the Ruby has been released. There's 550 bottles of this, I'm led to believe. And this is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. The 2024 is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey, but the Ruby is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. So it basically, you don't get a huge amount of information of what it is. The whiskey finished in port cask is a combination of decades, experience, dedication, and skill. There's never been a whiskey quite like this. There never will be again until the next special release. It's bottled at 53.1, as I say. And it's just for collection. That's basically all it is. It doesn't really matter what they put in the bottle. They, out of the 550 bottles that there is, there'll be not that many of them actually ever opened. And it's quite a nice thing. Don't get me wrong. I collect some stuff myself, but it's €20,000 a bottle. Now, wow. So think about this for a second. The Pearl came out, and it was 6,000-7,000, whatever it was, whenever it first came out, roughly. There's only 118 of those. They have now went and 5 times that, roughly, and put the price up sort of 4 times that, 4 or 5 times the price. And it's like, I don't doubt that it's going to be X amount of pound going forward, and it's collectible and all of that. But it's kind of, it's a bit of a sour taste in the mouth, if I'm honest. because it's just so many more bottles, so much more of a price, and it kind of just feels as if they're milking it a little bit. Well, more than a little bit, but they're milking it. There's no two ways about it. Then you have the block bar. The block bar, because Middleton Very Rare is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. Then the Ruby Editions is the pinnacle of Irish whiskey. And then what they've done is to really, really, really milk it to death. They have a single bottle, a one of one, which you have to. Well, I don't know whether you have to buy it as an NFT or not an NFT or whatever the hell it is. But you buy it through this thing called Block Bar, which is on the blockchain.
Hold on. Is that not just the same bottle as the other bottle, but it's one bottle?
Aye, but this has got rubies, actual rubies, right? Celebrating 4 decades of Middleton Very Rare. Middleton Very Rare.
Hold on.
Block Bar is offering a one of one 40th anniversary Ruby Day. This is the pinnacle of its 550 bottle annual release series, numbered one of one. This expression is represented in a Waterford crystal decanter, hand encrusted with 32 ethically sourced rubies. Breathtaking, rare as the stones are identical, exactly crafted by King's Jewellers. The bottle is hand engraved with 18 karat solid gold, the next stopper, and such. The seal includes a Middleton distillery experience and donation to the Forest Generic Resources Trust. So you have the pinnacle of Irish whiskey in Middleton 2024. You have the pinnacle of Irish whiskey in the Ruby cask. Then you have the pinnacle in this one of one bottling that can only be bought through the blockchain thingy. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels as if they're flogging a dead horse. If I'm totally honest, that's it feels to me as if the whole Middleton collecting thing, when they're releasing a very rare bottling and there's 50,000 bottles of it, it's not rare in any way, shape, or form. And the bottling have become cardboard box, egg box bottling, but then they release this, and then they're releasing this other one. It just feels, it doesn't feel right in any way, shape, or form, you know?
Okay. It's quite complicated. That will, obviously that one, probably somebody will bid on it. But will the other one sell out then as well? Probably not.
Well, the thing is, the Ruby, the 40th, the Ruby is the Ruby is still available in the places that's available. I know that there are other places that you will be able to buy it. It doesn't seem to have shifted that quickly for whatever reason. Probably because it's ferociously expensive. But the one of one, somebody will buy it. I mean, that's a sort of foregone conclusion. There's lots of people out there with an awful lot of money, Justin, including yourself, obviously, and somebody will buy it. But it feels kind of gimmicky to me. It's just, it is what it is. But when it's Jim has put there, Middleton bought the rights to the word pinnacle, and now they feel contractually obliged to use it. I don't know. I think they're obviously in their branding, they've decided that the word Middleton and pinnacle have to go side by side, because pretty much in all the blurb you ever get about Middleton, that's what appears. So yeah, it's like, oh Christ, you know. When you've got guys like Hedge there that are bringing out a good age statement whiskey, telling you what's in the bottle for a reasonable price. Ecklinville this weekend, I think it maybe finishes tonight, have 15% off all their stuff online, and the Dunville stuff, I can assure you now, the single cast Dunvilles that you would buy tonight on their website with 15% off, you probably buy it for 100 quid a bottle or 120 pound a bottle, will be a much better whiskey than will be in that Middleton. I haven't tasted the Middleton, I probably never will, But I'll just tell you now, that would be, I would probably be quite happy to hang my hat on the fact that the Dunval single casks with 15% off for probably a little over 100 quid. It'll be a better tasted whiskey than the Middleton. But it is just on and on and on. People coming out, people getting it kind of tight financially, and Middleton bringing out. If Peter, and I'm pretty certain sure Peter Stewart's right, that there's 50,000 bottles of the Middleton Very Rare 2024 in the first saying. They've put the price of it, it has doubled in price in the last couple of years. They're bringing out much bigger batches of it, higher price. Then they have the pinnacle of Irish whiskey, the other pinnacle, the Ruby at 20k. Then there's another bottle that starting at 60k. It's like, come on. It won't last. This is not a good way of doing things going forward. If you want to keep something rare and collectible, fine. Keep it rare and collectible. And that's what collectors will do with it. And again, perfectly entitled they are to do with it, fair play. But it ain't that rare. Ain't that great a whiskey. Most of them that I've ever tasted, they're not. They're all right. And they just keep getting more and more and more and more expensive. Anyway, as he says, Kit Charles is saying, have a look at Whiskey Auctioneer. Finishes tomorrow. Loads of tumbles.
People are panicking, aren't they?
Well,
Panicking.
I'll tell you what you do at Whiskey Auctioneer. Go to the tail end. Instead of hitting, people go on, they hit the Irish and they look through all the Irish stuff. Don't bother with that. Right? Unless there's something you're interested in, obviously that's a separate thing. Go on and hit lowest stuff coming up first. And start going through the tail end of the whatchamacallit, of the auction. There's loads of interesting stuff down there. Tasty stuff you can pick up for £25 a bottle, 20, 25, £30 a bottle. And there's lots of it, lots of choice. So go and do that. If you want to broaden your palate, if you really like whiskey, that's where you look at in the auction, because there's lots of it. That's what I'll be doing tonight. And I'm probably picking up a few bottles of cognac and Armagnac and stuff, which basically give it away. So there's lots of interesting stuff down there. So yeah, let's see the comments. What's the old saying? If following the money is easy, part it. Could you possibly make money as an investment bottle? I think all of them will be investment bottles. The Ruby ones will be investment bottles. Huge outlay, but they probably will be investment bottles. But it just doesn't sit well at a time when there's a sort of economic crisis. They're up in the amounts of them and up in the price of them. So if you want to keep it rare and collectible, then that's fine. But they're not doing that. They're making it common regard. They haven't even sold out of last year's. And now they're brought out this year's and putting the price up again. It just doesn't sit well with me, But anyway.
Who knows? It'll maybe attract more
people to collect.
Yeah.
Possibly.
You never know.
I just don't think it doesn't sit that well with me, if I'm totally honest. But anyway, it is one bottle's pricey on fees and delivery. Yeah. If you're buying one bottle, as Kit says, if you're buying one bottle in an auction, it can be pricey enough. So what you do is go to the bottom end of the market, buy half a dozen bottles, and then that cuts it all down. Kit. That's the way you do it. Where are we here? Declan Boyle said they only need to sell one, the rest is profit. Well, probably. The amount they're charging for casks and stuff, it's just ridiculous as well. One bottle is pricey and fees. The MVR 2020 is going up in the auctions at the moment. Yeah, I mean, but 2020 was a strange year because they didn't release that many of them. And that's why the price has shot up. 2017, when they brought in the new bottling, the new design package, it's worth considerably more than the old bottling. If you have a bottle of 2009, again, that was the financial crisis. They dropped the number that they produced that year, and that's why it's really, really collectible. That's what, 4.5k a bottle, 5k a bottle. That's kind of why. Now they're just bringing out shitloads of it and charging a fortune, and people going, but the 2020 has gone up. The 2009 was worth a lot of money. I don't think anybody will be making any great money in the 2024 going forward. Possibly in the Ruby, possibly in the other one. You never, ever, ever know. Now, let's go for the big release. Actually, really interesting. Really, really good. It says there a once in a lifetime whiskey. Knowing a little bit about behind the scenes, what has went on. The friend at hand released the 36-year-old Bushmills this week. Now, it's £5,000 a bottle, which is bloody expensive in anybody's £5,000 is an awful lot of money. But you think about what you're getting here. It's a 36-year-old single cask Bushmills, the oldest Bushmills that they have released in Ireland or Europe. You're buying into a whole pile of things here. You're buying into, number one, the friend at hand, which is a unique place. It just is. And you're also buying into the fact that Willie Jack, who owns the place, has totally transformed Belfast. It's not just the Cathedral Quarter. I mean, let's be honest, he's transformed Belfast.
Well, he got a gong to prove it, didn't he?
I mean, I'm not spilling any secrets here because he wasn't going to take it. He didn't want it. That's not what he does any of this stuff for. But he was sort of cautiously urged that it wasn't really for him. It was for the fact that all the people that he employs and all the work that the other people have done that he has inspired, right enough. So yeah, he went and got it on him. Long overdue. But also the fact that the Heart Bar that he owns is the former headquarters of Bushmills. Everything about it has been a bit of a trial to actually get it to that point. I know some stuff. I'm not going to say it in public as such, but he's had a hard time getting this. It's took a long time to get it from him wanting a single cask for the friend to actually getting one. And it's nice that they end up doing it. The Hill Street edition, it's called. I'll let you in a little secret, Justin. It's £5,000 a bottle. So if you were going to pay for a measure of it in a bar, it would be £500 a shot. Because normally what they do is they double. You get 20 shots out of a bottle. Divide that down, it would be £250 a shot. And what they do is in bars they always double it. This is a measure of the whiskey. That is 500 quid's worth in a bar.
Well, I was lucky enough to try 5. There was a flight of 4, and I got. It's not bad. It's not bad. I preferred 3 and 4, but it's not bad.
No, well, the for those who did the tasting, there was other whiskies there to sort of show the components and stuff of the aging process and whatnot. Alex Thomas did the tasting. Jim and I had to read out a whole pile of stuff, all the collections out, so that we could fill it all with Bushmills. Me jet lagged as anything. I couldn't remember what end of it was up, but I was there doing the stuff because
it was a very, very good night. It was a superb night.
It was a superb night.
We had a great tour. I'm not going to spoil tasting tour for you. It's a good tour. Go on it. Mm-hmm. The tasting, I'm not going to sort of paw you like a cat with the tour, but we do have the launch for you, so you'll be able to see.
We'll be able to see it because we've done a bit of time. Goodie bags were handed out, so a bit of artwork and sort of limited edition artwork.
There was chocolate. Are you saving them for somebody?
I have the chockies here, and then the people got a little Causeway collection thing. So I'm going to pour this. But yeah, it's a bit of a special bottle. There's only 280 of them, of which anybody that knows Willie Jack will keep 50 bottles. Those will be for the bottle number 1 will go in the museum. The other ones, those will be for tastings and stuff going forward to make sure he never, ever, ever runs out of them. And he kind of likes to hold on to these things to anybody that knows him. There only will ever be about 150 of these ever released onto the market, and it is kind of a once in a lifetime thing. it was a fantastic night, and I'm really, really glad that it happened for him, for Willie. And I, I, I think Jim said there's been about 5 or 6 of them sold so far, and that's only. Oh, there's Jim saying anyone buying a bottle going forward will also get a print of the artwork. So that's a nice thing to have as well. So yeah, it's well worth just. Can you get it on the trip, Peter? If, I'll hold one for you. If you pay me off the $5,000, I'll get one held.
If you
for
pay
How's
me
about
off
that?
$10,000, I'll buy one for you.
Aye. There's 8 of them sold. 8 of them sold already. So yeah, they are selling, and there will be people coming specially to pick them up. You can only buy them going through the door. This week, I put up a couple of pictures of it, and all the scammers come out of the woodwork. As soon as I see them, I do try and hit the.
Please don't click the
delete and
links,
block.
folks. Please, I had to leave another
Yeah.
group tonight and block somebody because there's people don't understand that they are scammers and click the links.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's not up to me to look out for them. But anyway,
Just for some reason this week, as soon as the bottle appeared, the scammers come out of the woodwork. Oh, click this. If you can't get a bottle, give me a shout, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I see them, I try and block them. I hit the delete and block, delete and block, delete and block. I've had to do it, I'm sure, 100 times this week. But hopefully people are well enough aware you can only buy it in the friend at hand. They
and he doesn't do mail order.
Doesn't do mail order. So anybody that says they have a bottle of it that they're willing to sell or the thing, they don't. Okay, they just don't. So yeah, you need to come through the doors. But Justin, you did a bit of filming.
I did.
So we're going to play that out, and we will sign off. Watch out for the introduction that Willie gets from Colin Megan. It is dead funny. We were in stitches. It's a bit weird, but yeah. So we're going to play this out, and we shall see you next week, guys.
Yep, it's about 20 minutes long. Here we go. Catch the same time, same place next week. Watch this, but here we go.
Well, good evening, everybody. You having a good time so far?
Yeah,
Great, super. Well, I think I've actually died and gone to heaven. I was in around, Willie showed me earlier, in around the back. I've never been in the museum. I said, oh my God, if I had anything like that in my house, I don't think I'd ever leave it. I'd just in there every day of every minute. But I'm really thrilled to be able to really share this moment in time with everybody. This moment, I think it's, it is actually very, very, very special. It's something that we've been thinking about for many years, and certainly it's been in Willie's head for many longer years, trying to convince us to give him a barrel and come together. Steady. There's the barrel. There's just nothing in it, really. But I suppose, look, to share this moment, I think really what it is, it's a celebration of a great friendship. And it's a great friendship between Willie and the old Bushmills distillery. And that friendship really has come together. And I think it's very poignant to say friends in hand. So it's very appropriate, I think, that we are friends in hand. So I think it works really well. We share the same passions. We share the same values, and we share this great love of whiskey. And I think most people in the room can probably say the same thing for us. So. Fantastic. Willie had an old dog a long time ago called the Dark Horse. I don't think it ran very well, Willie, and didn't run too many races for you. But looking around the establishment here and everything you've done in this whole area, you're just a total winner now. So what a great name, the Dark Horse. Every corner I turned around today, I was like, wow, you are a Dark Horse. This is just phenomenal. So here, a big show for me. you know, I suppose again back to this moment in time, we have to really, I think, mark this moment in time, and I think we have something very, very special to mark the moment, and that's the 36-year-old that Alex is going to take us through now in a moment. So I think it is very special. It's very rare. It's unique. It's the last cask of its kind at the distillery for this year, for that year 86. So it is something that's going to be never unrepeatable. So everything is gone from that year. So it is something very, 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 very special. And what's special as well is this area here. So Bushmills is synonymous with this area. So as you were on the tour, you brought through it, like it is fascinating. Just around the corner was Waring Street. So way back in 1890, SS Bushmills, the ship that sailed the world with Bushmills on it, really bought Bushmills from Hill Street all the way around the world. And I think what's great about that is this 36-year-old, the only place in the world where you can get it is here in Hill Street, and it is going to go around the world as well. So I think that is just a great, nice moment again on top of all these moments. Also across the road in Gordon Street, we have the bottling hall. So back in 1923, that was the head office of Bushmills, and there were all warehouses, some maturation sheds. So 1923 all the way to 1941, a bottling hall, and then right across the road, that's where we stored all the barrels. So I just think, again, just couldn't have two, I suppose, collisions in space to come together for this perfect moment, which is the launch of the 36. So it is my pleasure to introduce Alex, and she's going to talk a little bit more about what makes 36-year-olds so great.
Thank you very much. For those of you that don't know the motto of Belfast, pro tanto quid retribuamus, what shall we give in return for so much? What shall we give in return for the generations of the Bushmills family that had quality at their heart, for their restless pursuit of perfection, for their dedication to pay homage to those that came before, honour the present, and inspire the future of Bushmills Irish whisky? What can we give in return to Hill Street, where once the Bushmills barrels rolled its cobbles, and for its links to the past, the present, and the future of Bushmills Irish whisky? What can we give in return to Friends at Hand, which now houses, we used to house the Bushmills headquarters here, and the links that it has, and this beautiful array of whiskies it now holds next door of Bushmills and memorabilia? What can we give in return for Wally Jack, the legend that he is, for what he gives to Irish whisky and to Belfast itself? What shall we give to all of you and all of those that made this special event possible? We shall give in return our oldest and rarest ever Bushmills single malt launched in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure, from the causeway to the cobbles, we bring you our beautiful whisky tonight to celebrate the icons Bushmills whisky and the Friends at Hand. We give you the 36th column, my darling, will you please unveil? Our 36-year-old Bushmills Hill Street edition.
If I do this right now the right way.
Now don't knock it off.
Hannah's going to kill me.
What an amazing sight.
Alex needs to do that.
So, no, my beautiful model here, we'll get that up. So, my angels are just moving round the room. So you will all very soon have a beautiful whisky in front of you. If you don't have one at the moment, please put up your hand, and very quickly the angel chair will arrive with you, and you will get to taste this amazing whisky tonight. If you already have one in hand and a second hand goes up, and you end up with a second, well, the angels are sharing tonight, so feel free. That beautiful noise that clinking glasses called. That really is a delight.
Cheers, kids.
So we're going to take you through a little bit of a tasting of this wonderful whisky and tell you a little bit of the journey that it has made. So a long, long time ago, the 25th of November 1986, The wonderful team at Bushmills were working hard distilling this amazing whisky. The team looked after it while it was doing the distillation, and then it was laid down in the casks within the warehouse. And there it remained in the Oloroso sherry cask, the French oak, which some of you tasted earlier this evening as well with me. So the same French oak, the same Oloroso, the same cooperages all those years ago, looked after in the warehouses with the amazing team we have at Bushmills. So that oxidisation, that breathing in and out, happened for all of those years. But in 2001 we decided to do something a little bit different. So rather than letting the continuation of the slowing down of maturation, we decided to bring the last 4 remaining casks together and place them into a single hogshead. This is the single hogshead that we had. That has been cared for by our coopers at Bushmills, the 4 generations of coopers, ensuring that the angels got their share, but we managed to keep enough so that we could keep Wally Jack happy and we could all get to experience this wonderful whisky tonight. So we did manage to get an amazing 208 bottles, which is a very rare and unique opportunity for anyone to be able to enjoy. But tonight, we all get to share a little bit of the drop of that. So it is an amazing achievement to have a cask, the last remaining single malt cask of Bushmills. A truly rare experience, but what a joyful experience that we get to have tonight. Last remaining 1986. we have over 500,000 there. If anybody else is looking for a few.
Give or take one. That's the last.
Yeah, the odd one we like to taste over there then. So you can see that beautiful colour, that golden chestnut, all of that time in the warehouse, breathing in and out, gaining its colour from the wood, has just imparted such quality. Have a little nose of this. This takes time to breathe in. Let it really give you over all of that time it is spent in the cask. That beautiful fruitiness is in there. The apricot is there. The wonderful milk chocolate is coming through. The distinct maltiness of Bushmills' character. That honey is there. But boy, are you in for a treat when you taste this. The spiciness will come in. The fruit flavours will be there. Let this one sit and linger a few seconds before it passes. Remember all of those guys that worked in this. Kenny, Yule, Sam, Malcolm, John, Harry, Alistair, Chris, John, Watson, the team here tonight that made it possible. We can't make a whisky on our own. The cask spends its time waiting on all of us, ensuring that we can put it into a bottle that we get to enjoy. So savour this one. Have a little sip. Wow. What a flavour. The sweetness is there, the balance is there. At 48%, truly unique. The finish is phenomenal. It really shows you the quality of Bushmills cask, the quality of the liquid. It just lingers saying, wow, it was worth the wait. What do we think? Do we all agree this is one of the best whiskies you've ever tasted? If not the best? So I'll ask you all to join me in a toast. Here's to the wild, and here's to the free. Here's to you, and here's to me. Here's to those that quietly do. This Bushmills moment goes friend in hand to you. Sláinte.
Great, Alex. Thanks a million. Wow. Super. What were we doing 36 years ago? Oh my God. I think that was my entry. I was 18, just leaving secondary school. I think that was my entry into the drinks business. But that was on the consumer side, going to university. It took me another couple of years after that, so it's probably over 30 years now in the drinks business, and it just couldn't be a better thing. So I do have to pinch myself when I come and I suppose have the pleasure of working in such a great place as Bushmills, but also the ability to deal with people's legacy. I suppose as master distiller, I'm just passing through. So we're making whiskey for over 400 years. So I have to always be cognizant of who's coming behind me or who's come behind me, but also have to pass on the secrets to those who's coming through. So I just really to care for a few years. I think Alex and myself were both very lucky and fortunate. We've been tasting these whiskies for a long time, So the volumes were going down all the time. The last, I suppose, 2, 3, 4 years, we've managed to release a few more whiskies that previously we weren't allowed to. So very good. So look, there's a few people to thank, and I brought a little list with me here, but so I probably forget half the people who are on the list. Surprising enough, even though I'm the world's greatest master distiller,
Oh yeah.
I have had to get a bit of help on this, so I couldn't do it on my own. So we have some of the great Bushmills marketing and sales teams here today. They do enjoy giving us an absolute horrid time with all the weird bottle shapes and labels and different cast types and stuff like that they're insisting on. But I will say the sales team with Fergal, Patrick and Gary and Mark, so I don't forget anybody. Thanks a million for really getting this through. You work very closely with Willie. I think Fergal was telling me that first idea came in 2015, Willie, and you're just getting it now. So it's very good. Well, I say it would have been 25-year-old if we did it that kind of master around here. Again, look, Donna, John, or Jen, and Brona on the marketing side, superb. Really come up. Thanks for coming up all the way, helping us so much down the years. I think Sinead. I think Sinead's there somewhere as well. Brilliant, Sinead, absolutely. And Anna, she who should be obeyed. So I think we're doing all right, Anna. Right? So fantastic. Look, local, and I think I was thrilled when Willie had the pleasure of his company for a few hours. And he fits a lot of words in a few hours, let alone a few minutes. So he was all about local. And again, when you come to the Bushmills distillery, we're all about local as well. So about local people who local gifts in our shop, local food. It's everything about trying to support the local community. So I think that's really what Willie's motto is. So local again here. I got the food and truffles from literally across the road. We had the Waterman House. So again, superb. All the great design as well for the whole event, soft design, super altogether. And I think then a special mention, and I think someone very close to Willie's heart again, Conor Gallagher, wow, so he's the artist, incredible. Again, Alex, super nose, super blender, so again, couldn't do anything really, I suppose, without Alex. But I suppose we really can't go past this moment without thanking the big man himself. And of course we all know the big man as God, and surely this whiskey is a gift from God. So we praise the Almighty. So if there is a bigger man, it's Willie himself. So bigger than God. So Willie, would you like to come on stage just for a second?
Thank you, Colin.
You want to say a couple of words, Willie?
Not really, but I'll do.
Oh, very good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a pleasure. Many years ago, long before Alex was born, Colin was coming into the Duke of York, and he was always very thankful for all the Bushmills. We should be proud of it. For years I thought, look, you've got the best product in the world, let's show off the Grey North, right? But for different reasons, other breweries, other distilleries, great distilleries, they took a steal on it. They realised, but now Bushmills is coming back. Not only are they coming back with a bang, right? They're coming back to lead the way in whisky innovation. And genuinely, and I don't know an awful lot about whisky, but Jim, Ray, Marty, the three grumpy old men that work in the shop, they know about whisky. And when I met Alex, I said, look, what I'd love to do is get a whiskey that reflects my age. So when I get 36 years old, I think if it was round the other way at 63, it would be near the truth. You're all very welcome to the Cathedral Quarter. You're all very welcome to come to the Duke of the Harp. Thanks will be on me. And I am just so proud that we have been associated with the great Bushmills Distillery Company Limited. Thank you very much.
So I think we just need to give Willie just a little gift, really. So Virgil, who looks after all the sales in all of Ireland, would like to just present Willie with a wee little memento, and I think it's very special. So it's really a map of the local area with a nice bottle of the 36-year-old on the outside. So
thank you, and thank you, Mr. Virgil, a true ambassador for Casino and Bushmills.
Very good. So I think I'm going to hand back over to Mark, Master of Ceremonies, to close out, and sure we'll meet you for a wee drink or a pint afterwards as well. So hope you enjoy the night. We'll see you at the distillery sometime. I think it's right up from the city of Chicago. Thanks a lot. So thanks to Colin, to Alex, to Lily there, and to Fergal for the words. This is the last time you'll have to hear my voice tonight. You'll be glad to know. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? I just really want to say my heartfelt thanks again for being here this evening. This is undoubtedly a career highlight for me, being involved in such a project like this. And I think we can all agree it's been a fantastic evening. That is a phenomenal whiskey as well. And this is history for Bushmills. This is a momentous occasion that you're all part of. We're delighted that you're here, and thank you very, very much for being here. We hope you enjoyed your evening, and we definitely will see you very, very soon. Of course, I'd be lost without a bit of help here. So if anybody does want photos of the bottle, want to come up with photos with the bottle, etc., you're very welcome to. There are going to be a number of eyes on anyone trying to make a swift exit, namely Willie. So you are more than welcome to take photos. Please do.
First one in the world to do it.
Yeah, someone could be the first person in the world to get a photo with this bottle. So, folks,